Anti-nuclear initiatives of Kazakhstan are known worldwide. Kazakhstan has set an example for other countries by closing the Semey nuclear test site and creating a nuclear weapon-free zone in Central Asia. The representatives of major international organizations, politicians, and the most authoritative experts spoke highly of Kazakhstan's contribution to a global process of the nuclear disarmament and non-proliferation.
私たちにとってやはり一番関心があるのは、やはりセミパラチンスク核実験場で
The main goal of our foundation is to remind people of the dangers of the atomic weapons. Therefore, we consider it necessary to talk about the tragedy of the Semey test site. We will continue to work closely with our Kazakh colleagues, since Kazakhstan is very actively promoting the idea of nuclear disarmament and non-proliferation on the world stage. We must do everything possible so that all people remember the horrors and never forget them.
世界中で行われた核実験の被害の一つとしてですね、私たちも学んでいきたいと思っています。
The Republic is making great efforts to develop and use the peaceful atom. Possessing the largest reserves of the natural uranium in the world, Kazakhstan intends to use nuclear technologies for the betterment of the citizens' lives. The country intends to cooperate with the European Center for Nuclear Research. Kazakh scientists will be able to intern and work in this organization. They will use the laboratories of the world's most advanced and technologically equipped organizations. Moreover, the research base of the International Organization for Nuclear Research will be useful for the development of medicine. Kazakhstan will have an opportunity to create its own high-tech developments and apply the modern technologies of cancer treatment.
У нас будут возможности у наших ученых по разным.
We will have opportunities to use all the laboratories and facilities at the center in different areas. There's no membership fee. Our scientists need a few years to work. First, we have to look at the results. Then we must decide our further stay in the laboratories.
Глубокого анализа мы тогда должны будем принять решение о дальнейшем нашем пребывании.
Kazakhstan is currently the leader in investment attractions among Central Asian countries. At the end of 2018, nearly $24.5 billion foreign direct investments were invested into the country. Compared to the previous year, the figure was increased by more than 15.5%. Over the years of independence, more than $320 billion of investments have been attracted into Kazakhstan's economy. A new agreement between the European Union and Kyrgyzstan would be signed in early 2020. According to the European External Action Service, this is a mutually beneficial agreement between the two parties. Negotiations on the new agreement on expanded partnership and cooperation have been continued for a year and a half. The adopted strategy is aimed at promoting sustainability, prosperity, as well as regional cooperation. Wind power stations with a capacity of 500 megawatt will be built in Uzbekistan. The project will be implemented with participation of Arab investors. The agreement provides step-by-step implementation of design, financing, construction, ownership, and operation of the wind power stations. Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan are planning to increase the volume of freight and passenger traffic on railway connections of the two countries. There is a possibility of additional benefits for transit cargo from Uzbekistan. To date, most of the cargo shipments from Uzbekistan to the world market pass through Kazakhstan's territory. The parties constantly improve their works on ensuring traffic safety on railways, since both countries are interested in increasing freight and passenger traffic. Kyrgyzstan is set to expand its transit potential. Kyrgyz officials are engaged in building a highway that will connect the country's northern and southern regions. The bridges are unique for Kyrgyzstan and Central Asia. The support construction is 80 meters high, including 40 meters above water and 40 meters underground. A new hydropower plant is expected to be built in this region, and the support facilities will form the basis for the dam.
We are
assembling the framework of the bridge. We have completed 14 spans so far. After the assembly, we will conduct concrete works. The The Kyrgyz government has been working on the ambitious project for years. Experts estimate the cost at $900 million. The constructors had to change the natural terrain as about 40% of the new highway was covered by mountains and rocks. Surveyors created a draft while the road constructors worked on its implementation.
Разработка ведется только с помощью буровозрывных работ. Буровозрывные работы начинаются с...
The development works involve drilling and blasting as we drill wells in the area. As you can see, there are wells on the slope of the hill where we put explosives in order to conduct explosion works. That is how we go deeper underground.
Вещество, аммонат, и происходит взрыв. И таким образом постепенно, да, мы опускаемся вниз.
The new highway is 433 kilometers long, which is twice shorter than the old road. The construction teams conduct drilling and blasting in some sections, while other teams lay the asphalt in other parts of the road. The temperature of the asphalt concrete mixture is very important. If the temperature exceeds 180 degrees Celsius, the bitumen will start crystallizing and deteriorating. The Fergana range is challenging for the constructors. The drillers are working to create a 4 kilometers tunnel as they drill several meters per day. More than half of the works have been completed. The highway is expected to be commissioned in 2022. An international fintech company opened its office at the Astana International Financial Center. According to Indian entrepreneur and mentor Sufyan bin Uzair, the location for the office is selected due to the fact that Kazakhstan is located in the very center of the region, which makes the country an excellent location for the development of fintech. Sufyan bin Uzair is also planning to spread this experience throughout the entire Central Asian region. The company offers financial and educational technological solutions and allows Kazakh startups and entrepreneurs who are not fluent in English to acquire information about the latest e-commerce innovations in Russian.
When I got here, I noticed that all the fintech publications there in English, and some of the brightest minds of this country, they are very fluent in Russian and Kazakh, but English is not their strongest first language. So that's why we started a fintech publication in Russian, and we're also going to launch a Kazakh version of it soon, to bring the latest fintech news and updates and everything about the world of finance and technology to the young minds here in the country. And we hope it will be beneficial for them.
Kazakhstan and Belarus are strengthening cooperation in education. When Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko officially visited Kazakhstan in 2011, the country signed an agreement on the establishment of a consortium between the Kazakh universities and Belarusian research institutes. Today, the consortium includes more than 40 universities from both countries. The university scientists are working on the joint research projects.
До 700 человек, казахстанских студентов, аспирантов, докторантов, проходит свое обучение. Более того, проходит не только обучение.
There are nearly 700 Kazakh students, graduate and PhD students who study in Belarus. However, there are programs that allow Kazakh students to get trained at Belarusian enterprises, innovations, engineering and medical institutions, as well as scientific organizations of the National Academy of Sciences. There are projects in the agricultural industry. Technologies are tested in Belarus and then they are introduced in the work of the Kazakh farmers.
Те технологии, которыми располагает Беларусь, они проходят через учебные процессы, внедряются в практику казахстанских аграриев.
Очень активно, я буквально приведу хороший пример взаимодействия.
Kazakh agricultural universities are working with their Belarusian counterparts. It is the most up-to-date field in both countries and the student exchange is intense. This exchange is really practical. The students work with the technologies and the equipment.
Участвуют буквально в полях, работают с техникой, с эксплуатацией техники.
Integration of curriculum programs of partner universities and development of the double degree educational program are one of the major cooperation aspects. We have significantly increased the number of double degree education programs. Students have an opportunity to enroll into bachelor and master programs and use the advantages of both universities. They can earn diplomas from Kazakh and Belarusian universities based on the agreement. The faculty of the Kazakh and Belarusian universities are conducting extensive research. The number of joint projects is increasing. As a result of this fruitful work, Kazakh scientists obtained 33 innovative patents. More than 1 million tourists visited Almaty last year. Half of them were travelers from Europe, the United States, Russia, and Central Asia. They are attracted to the developed infrastructure, the natural beauty, and the ski resorts of the city. Description pointers with the Braille font and QR codes are installed on popular tourist sites for convenience of the foreign tourists. With a smartphone, people can access a complete information about the city's sites in 6 languages. Philip Thompson from Australia has traveled almost the entire world. He said that Kazakhstan was a discovery for him.
So I've been to Almaty, been to Altai region, to Mangostar region, to Shymkent, Turkestan. And of course, near Almaty, I've been to Sharon Canyon, to Kolsai, Kaindi. And just seen in the past few years how there's been a lot of developments and a lot of improvements.
The Australian traveler admits that no Courchevel can be compared with the mountains of Almaty and hospitality of the locals. He promises to return to Kazakhstan with his friends, where he enjoyed visiting exotic places and doing extreme sports. A vacation on the Shimbulak ski resort and the Medeo High mountain skating rink was a captivating experience for Ahmad Al-Katabi from the United Arab Emirates.
It's my first time to visit Kazakhstan. It's a very lovely country. People are very friendly. I love it.
The increased tourist flows to the city have become possible due to a number of measures taken for the development of the industry. In Almaty, the share of tourism and related services in the cross-regional product will be increased to 6% by 2025.
Алматы является клондайком в сфере туризма, очень привлекательным для иностранных.
Almaty is Klondike in tourism. It is very attractive for foreign tourists. Every second tourist coming to Kazakhstan pays a visit to Almaty. At the end of 2018, for the first time in history, more than 1 million tourists visited the city. In the first quarter, the growth of tourists was estimated at more than 45.9%. This means that the city is attractive to foreigners. Kazakhstan intends to become one of the leading tourist destinations in the region. The state program will contribute to this. The implementation of the program will have a tremendous economic effect, attracting nearly 800 billion tenge of direct investments. This will increase the flow of domestic and inbound tourists by 4 times.
Human development is the main priority of the youth policy in Kazakhstan. Today, informal education plays an important role in the youth developments. Informal education fully meets the needs of the younger generation, and the classes are often held in the form of a game. Thus, seminars for specialists of youth resource centers are held throughout Kazakhstan as part of the Youth Year. The resource center specialists directly interact with the younger generation. Personnel of the resource centers are learning advanced skills, allowing them to work with the youth based on international best practices. The trainees have the chance to learn new skills and build the capacities remotely.
В этом году мы по плану 5 курсовых
We are
семинаров.
planning to conduct 5 seminars this year. The third workshop is being held in Almaty city. Previously, we held seminars in the cities of Shymkent and Karaganda, where we taught 160 people. We also conduct webinars, which involve more people. For the workshops, we involve experts from a youth lab of the Council of Europe.
Советы Европы, кто работает с молодежью. У них есть лаборатория молодежи. Вот приглашаем специалистов оттуда. Вот.
Experts believe that one of the main advantages of the informal education is the further successful implementation and promotion of youth projects in Kazakhstan.
A collection of unique scientific and historical books, Ahorda, History of the Kazakh Khanate, Kazakhs and Russia, The Era of the Last Warriors, and the Kazakhs, The Ancestral Path, has been presented in the capital of Kazakhstan. The collection is based on the research and articles by Kazakh historian and expert at the Institute of World Economics and Politics, Radik Temirgaliyev. Publications cover different aspects of the national history from its formation till modern day, the country's historical relations with its neighbors, the role of the historical events and circumstances, and and some of the personalities who made decisions that were crucial for the Kazakhs. According to the author, these books allow the readers to discover the unknown pages from the chronicles of Kazakhstan.
Одна из книг Аку-Орда, она посвящена в первую очередь истории казахского ханства. В эпохе последних батыров я рассматриваю в первую очередь значение такого специфического для казахского общества, да, института, как
One of the books, Aku-Orda, is dedicated to the history of the Kazakh Khanate and the era of the last Kazakh warriors. I look at the values specific to the Kazakh society, such as an institution of warriors or batirs, their lives and biographies. The book Kazakhs and Russia describes a process of the Kazakh Khanate joining Russia. It was a long process which lasted almost a century and a half. The book, The Kazakhs, The Ancestral Path, is a collection of my best articles. These articles describe completely different periods of history. There are also articles related to modern times. It is a collection of different articles.
Там абсолютно разные периоды, то есть и о древности, и об истории конгюев, есть статьи, которые затрагивают даже современность, поэтому такой просто сборник самых разных статей.
The Kieli Kazakhstan horseback expedition is ongoing in Kazakhstan. A group of horseback riders visited Bayanaul, which is one of the most beautiful national parks in the country. The team of riders received a warm welcome as they were treated to delicious food in a yurt and offered an excursion to the mausoleum of Musa Shormanov. The Kieli Kazakhstan expedition embarked on their 10-day journey on June 21st. The tour's purpose is to learn more about the potential of equestrian tourism in Akmola, Karagandi and Pavlodar regions. The travelers covered half of the trip, having left behind the Azhar River, the Karagash spring waters, the Buiratau National Park and villages of Alkay, Margulan and Algabas. Kazakh traditional culture and folk music instruments are gaining popularity among European audiences. Kazakh dance ensemble Saltanat held successful performances in Belgium. The team took part in the 36th World Folklore Festival held in Saint-Ghislain, southern Belgium. The artists also performed several solo concerts in Brussels and other cities. At the festival's gala opening, Kazakhstan was presented as a country which brings together ancient traditions and modern developments, while the Kazakh folk music was promoted as an artistic reflection of the nomadic culture. The Kazakh culture is a unique feature of this festival. Our costumes are one of a kind and the music is different. In general, there is nothing similar to our culture. Some cultures are alike, but our culture cannot be compared to anything. The ensemble can perform a wide range of traditional dances of many cultures. However, the artist has demonstrated only Kazakh folk dances in Europe to the music by Kazakh composers, including Kazakh traditional music pieces such as Aday, Balbirawin, and Bozingen. Dances such as Aldar Kose and Kairan Jir Mabies were particularly well received by the audience in Brussels. We are impressed by the way you value your culture and pass the traditions from generation to generation. It is the opposite in Europe, where folk traditions are becoming forgotten. We should follow your example. The performers are highly professional. It is the first time I listened to the Kazakh music. Even if we didn't understand the language, we were enchanted by the melody and rhythm of the music. We felt the hospitality and the generosity of the Kazakh people. The audience was captivated by the performing skills of the Kazakh artists. Saltanat Ensemble performed 10 concerts in Belgium. The team will also perform in France, Bulgaria and Poland. The outstanding piece of the Kazakh music genre, the Abay Opera, will be presented in Uzbekistan as part of the Astana Opera Theatre Tour. The famous masterpiece was selected to be shown to the Uzbek public as part of the modernization of Kazakhstan's identity program. The work features 4 talented Kazakh cultural figures such as Abay, who is the main character of the opera, the writer of the libretto Mukhtar Awezov, and great composers Ahmed Zhubanov and Latif Hamidi. The producers believe that the production allows to demonstrate the Kazakh culture on the global arena. The work reveals Abay's philosophy and life as well as the Kazakh traditions.
Үздік ұлттық операларымыздың бірі ол Абай. Сондықтан
Abay is one of the best Kazakh operas, therefore we need to showcase it to the world. In general, Kazakh operas have always been well received by foreign audiences. The Abay opera has a vast potential. I believe that the production will be highly valued in any country.
Осы операның болашағы өте зор. Қай елде көрсетсек те халық өз бағасын берер, жақсы қабылдайды деген сенімдемін.
A team of 200 professionals, including artists, musicians, makeup artists, and technical specialists, will travel to Tashkent. The crew will also bring nearly 30 tons of decorations in order to showcase the magnificent opera. Previously, the Abay opera was successfully presented in the Italian theatre of Carlo Felice in Genoa. The Kazakh Opera Theatre will also demonstrate the Madama Butterfly Opera. The performances are scheduled for July.